Would you like to know how to become a 2D VTuber for free within minutes? Stick around, guys. This is pretty cool stuff. So what I have here is a VTuber kit made by a developer named Cubism. Now this is still only in alpha stages. This is brand spanking new, so it's got a lot of limitations, but despite those limitations, it's still very cool what you can do with it. So the first thing you'll probably notice is despite the fact that I am a dude and I tried my best to make a masculine looking model, it's got the effeminate hand and leg thing going on. There was nothing I could do about it. It is intended exclusively for a sort of lolly model aesthetic. So if that's not what you're going for, there's a limited amount that you can really do. But despite the fact that it is limited, it still is super powerful and super easy to use. So as soon as you open it up, you can pick your background color, so you can chroma key out the background, select your webcam, your microphone, all that jazz, blah, 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 all the usual junk. And you just gotta pick your character's skin, their outline, their mouth, blah, 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 blah. All the usual stuff. And it looks like you can actually connect this to your Twitch so that you can actually use the throw object and falling object commands. So you can take a look here, give a head pat. Boom, got head pats. You want to throw an object at me? Boom, onion, let's go. Drop objects? Let's go. So those are all things that you can activate with hotkeys or integrate with Twitch so that your chat can go ahead and activate those. I'm not 100% sure how that exactly works because I have not tried it because I don't use Twitch, I use YouTube. But the fact that it's available and they got those cute little live features, adorable. I love it. Can't get enough of it. And making your model is actually super easy to do. You've got 5 different categories and then each of those comes with a bunch of different subcategories. So you can pick your base color, like I can make my hair black, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. And there are all these different hairstyles that I can choose from, all very feminine, all very chibi art style. And I think it looks really, really cool. I'm gonna stick with the masculine hair for now, but there is a ton to play around with here. And the reason I say there's a ton to play around with here isn't because there's objectively like hundreds and hundreds of different little pre-selects. I say that there's a ton to play around with here because this is an independent team that is releasing this for free. Like, I didn't have to pay for this alpha release at all. I got this totally for free. So the fact that they are releasing it for free and they still have all these cool pre-selected options that have geophysics and, you know, different selections, that's huge. That's awesome. You love to see it. So you can really play around with this a lot right out of the box. I love it. And you can change the scaling of the eyes to give yourself like, you know, some demonic slit eyes or whatever. Maybe you want to go with some of the like wacky like horizontal frog eyes. I don't know what you're into. And they've got different eye shapes, which is hilarious. Now, another limitation is the fact that the clothes are super limited. Like you got this kick-ass robe. Look at that. That's adorable. You love to see it. But there's not a ton. I think if you want to go for like a masculine style, I think this robe might be your best bet because it forces the hands and legs to come together and completely hides that, you know, feminine pose. But personally, I like a hoodie more than I dislike the pose. All of these different options that they give you for accessories are pretty impressive. Like, who doesn't want a halo? You know what I mean? Who doesn't want an adorable little cat tail? And look at the animation on this cat tail. Like, I have no intention or desire to use a model with a cattail, but the fact that it's even available as an option, I think that's pretty cool. Now, what I think takes this program from a cute gimmick to genuinely usable and genuinely customizable is the fact that you get to add custom accessories and attach it anywhere on the body super easily. You can see that I've got this custom pattern on my hoodie and I've got this custom sword on my back. Just click on this little plus sign. It's going to, by default, come out with this little guy right here. Isn't he adorable? Look at him go. But if you actually click on this little icon, this is going to bring up a menu here. And you can see I've just imported this little symbol, this little pentagram here, always fun. Or I can bring in this little Hanafuda earring right here. And you'll notice that by default, it kind of hangs out behind you. But then if you don't just left click it, but right click it, you can see that you can kind of, you know, pass this through here. What you're doing here is you're actually given the ability to apply this to the model, and wherever you release that right click is where you're going to kind of attach it. So you can see now this thing is attached to my head. You can also see that it's far too massive. So let's go ahead and bring that down here. And you can see that by default, it cuts in front of the model, and there's this little Z slider here, and the Z axis allows you to put it behind or in front of everything. I'm gonna leave that in front. And so now I've got a cute little Hanafuda earring that I've made. And you can see that I've got this little symbol on my chest, effortless to pin that on, adding custom little decals. I mean, I love this thing. The flexibility that it grants you by just providing you with a really, really easy way to attach stuff as a free program really opens this thing up. So I genuinely believe that this is not just some neat little gimmick. This is genuinely usable. I think you could absolutely debut with this if you have no other method and you want to have a 2D model rather than using VRoid to make your own 3D model, and you also don't want to go with a PNG. This is, as far as I'm aware, the only free route to get an actually rigged and moving 2D style avatar. At least the only one I'm aware of that's actually any good. Now, it goes without saying that I really like this program and I think it's a lot of fun to mess around with. However, I do have one criticism. Honestly, my only criticism of this, aside from the lack of features, which to be honest is just a result of the fact that it is still in alpha, we can't really fault it for that, is that if you go to the actual settings, you'll notice there's an open save data option, right? But there's no save. And you're like, well, where the hell is the save, right? Well, if you go to live, you'll find save load model design, and it's got options 1 through 5. So the only way to actually save your progress is to just click one of these buttons. That's it. There's no actual, as far as I could find, there is no way to save this as a file. There are ways to open other files, but I genuinely could not for the life of me find a way to save as. Another thing that I hope they add in the very near future is expressions. Right now there is absolutely no support for expressions. And again, alpha, lot of features that you would normally expect just aren't available, but for a free program, holy crap, does this look adorable. Even though this is available for free, I highly encourage all of you to consider supporting Cubism on Patreon. You know, show them some support, subscribe to their Patreon. I'm sure they have a donation page somewhere as well. Show them some love. They put in a ton of work to make something very cute and very usable. That's all I gotta say. Bye, guys.